What is going on, All-Terrain Nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, it does not matter what you drive because this is your All-Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd, and today we are talking about the Nissan Titan and maybe its lack of a future. But first, if you have not yet, smash that like button. You're like, Dave, got you, man. No problem. And when you do that, I say thank you because it just, if you like Nissan content, Ford content, any of the Jeep content that I do, any brands I do, just helps other people find my channel, and I greatly appreciate that. So today we are talking about the Nissan Titan, and I've owned a Nissan Titan. I had a 2017 Nissan Pro 4X Titan. Loved the truck. It was a great truck. A few little things about it that maybe the big boys have that it didn't have, but I tell you what, the thing was a towing beast. And let's go back. Let's go back a ways with Nissan jumping into the full frame market. People said, oh, imports, they'll never buy them. People will never buy an import full-size truck, and well, that was a head scratcher because Nissan and Toyota had a huge following within the mid-size market. Maybe somebody was right back then because Nissan has struggled to find its place within the full-size market. Now, the Gen 1 Titan, it did everything right. It came out initially with 305 horsepower, which was more than any other manufacturer was doing. People met them at that. They brought it out, and so Nissan said a year and a half later, they said, all right, hold my beer. We're going to go 315 horsepower. And after that, Nissan just sort of forgot they were building a truck. I think literally it was like in Office Space where they just kept pushing the Titan down to the basement, and eventually they forgot about it, and they forgot they had already stopped making it, yet they didn't tell manufacturing them, well, they just keep making the truck. Well, like Nissan's done with a lot of their products, let's ride this pony out till really about 2 people buy it a year, and then we'll move from there. And that's happened with the Titan, unfortunately, till 2016. Actually, 2015, our buddy, old CG, as I like to call him, he brought out the Nissan Titan. And Nissan, from the get-go, had a horrible launch with the Titan. You brought out a person who is a French-speaking, very cultural dude, but when it comes to the American full-size pickup truck guy, you brought out somebody to the company that probably could have done a little bit better in Fred Diaz, who they brought over from Dodge Ram. Was the great, perfect spokesman for Nissan to launch their trucks, but whether it be ego or what, the chairman of the board there had to launch the truck, and it was what kind of a disaster. It was the press release was hard to watch when they did it in Detroit Auto Show. It was okay. And then what do? They muddy up the waters by showing us then the Nissan Titan Warrior concept. That is right. The internet was set on fire by the Warrior concept. It was everything we were hoping some manufacturer would do to take on Raptor. And to this day, nobody's truly ever taken on Raptor. I know Ram guy, hey, TRX, I consider you your own beast. Like, you're just, the Raptor's true desert runner. You're just like true horsepower. And I just consider you two different things. I love you both. I love you both. No, Ram guy, you stay right there. Don't you get in the comments. I'm playing. You comment all you want. But anyways, so the Warrior concept came out, and everybody, and I mean everybody, was like pumped about that. I mean, like, everybody was pumped about that thing. And what did Nissan do? Well, they launched it, or they were showing it with a diesel. Nobody wants that kind of vehicle with a diesel, so that was sort of a ding about it. But people were like, hey man, look at this aggressive styling. This is badass. And well, we've seen the normal Titans, but you're going to build this, so we're going to be cool, right? We're going to be super cool. Well, unfortunately, they never built that. And now that truck is sitting at my buddy's at Z1 Off-Road in Atlanta, Georgia. And if you want to see that thing, go check it out, man. I did a video on it on the Nissan Nation production side, and I'll probably do one on this side about it because it was a beautiful concept. And well, like Nissan, they let that designer go off to somewhere else. And then, we could talk about Nissan's failures of like the IDX concept and all these things that Nissan, they tease us so well. Nissan's concepts are always great. And then when you get them, they're just like, well, it's so underperforming, nobody cares. Much like the Nissan brand. And I say these things as a Nissan fanboy. I love the brand. I love it being an underdog. I think that there's so much heritage with that brand, whether it be the Z or whatever they do. But just the 2000s have not been great for Nissan, and I think the Titan's future shows a little bit of that. So in 2016, we get the Titan. We get a diesel version. For the first time, Nissan's bringing a full-size diesel in a small V8, a 5-liter V8 diesel to the market. And people are like, Nissan, you're crazy. You're going to do a 2500? And Nissan, in the best way Nissan could do it, go, whoa, 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 whoa. No, we're not doing a 2500. We're going to do like a in-between, a 5/8 ton truck. And people like me, we reported on this back then with the podcast. We're scratching our heads going, well, and Nissan says, oh, there's market in between the half ton and the 2500. There's a whole market there just for us. People, they're going to want to tow their boats and all this. And I'm like, okay. Well, what did they bring to us? They brought us a 5-liter Cummins diesel that was, it was so bad that Ram didn't want it. When Ram was bought out by Fiat, they decided, no, we'd rather use our own engines, our own small diesels, and they got a 3-liter in theirs. And that engine was sitting there on a production line waiting to come, and Nissan needed some credibility, so they brought in Cummins, which is cool, had it been like something really cool. But the problem was, at launch, they had all kinds of issues, turbo lag like crazy, and they just kept dinging and dinging and dinging the Titan, and the Nissan's got their own V8 over there going, hey guys, I'm way better than that motor is. I have more power, I'm ready to go. I'm more probably fuel efficient, honestly, and I hate to say that about a fuel versus diesel, but that trunk was probably way more fuel efficient when it came down to it. And by the time people started finding the V8s, I think the diesel gave that truck such a bad name that it just swayed people away from it. Well, we get a refresh. Me and Danny, you know Danny, my co-host on the Nissan Nation Productions, we were flown out to Utah to when they did the kind of refresh launch in 2020. And well, actually of November 2019 for the 2020 year, and great truck. They did a bunch of nice refreshes to it, except it was all smoke and mirrors, man. The Titan just was like, you know, we're going to give you some cool LED, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a Fender upgraded radio, but the interior was pretty much the same. And yes, you got a couple with the Pro 4X, you got a couple cool little stitchings and some color accents, but for what they decided to start charging for that truck, it was dead on arrival. Now, Nissan, who I still, once again, I love. Hey, Nissan, I'm still your guy, man. It's harsh love today, but I'm hoping there's a future. Nissan keeps chugging along with that. Well, in Canada, in 19, they decided, well, we're not going to do the XD up there anymore. And why? Well, it's the importing of that truck. It wasn't selling well. It made sense to just pull back from that. Well, we still get an XD here, a gas version of the XD. Nissan decided to do away with that diesel. It caused a lot of problems. You have a dealer network that just didn't know how to handle full-size trucks, let alone a diesel truck who they've never handled, and it was just had disaster written all over it. And Nissan as a whole has just never educated or spent the money to educate properly your dealerships about trucks in general. Even though they've built a small truck forever, you get into full-size, it's just a whole nother animal. But that leaves us where we're at today, and you guys know I'm here in Middle Tennessee. I'm very connected to the Nissan brand, and I've heard multiple rumors, not just one, but I've heard multiple rumors that the Titan could be no more. And while that kind of makes me sad, it also makes sense for the company if they were to truly do away with that. Now, I've always told you, if I'm speculating, and I've been told rumors. And so take this as a grain of speculation, but I think after probably the 22 model year, I think the diesel or the Titan in general is probably gone. They're not selling very many of it. It would take the brand for a Generation 3. You're going to have to throw $1.5 billion at investing, redoing the truck completely. And for what? To maybe get 6,000 to 7,000 sales a month, or maybe a quarter, it seems like. I can't even keep up with the low sales figures of that truck anymore. And why not let the big three fight over that? You know, Toyota's got something. We've got a new Tundra coming out. You know, and by no means has the Tundra been a huge success for Toyota, but it's been more of a success versus the big three than the Titan has been. But I'm hearing that the Titan could be no more coming up. Where do you guys stand with that? Are you a fanboy of the truck? Once again, I owned one of the trucks. I thought it was one of the best pulling vehicles that I've ever had. I've used all the big three, and I thought the Titan really stood out I pulled vehicles with it, and I think it stood out. And I did a trip across from Nashville to Arizona and back with my buddies over at Regal Nissan, and even that diesel pulled phenomenally, man. It was great. Just, I don't know. I scratch my head at why Nissan can't get with the program and stop trying to copy everybody. Just do the Gen 1 Titan was all Nissan. It looked great. People were mad back then because it didn't have a column shifter. So what do? They put a column shifter in the Gen 2, and everybody went to the console shifter. So, like, Nissan can't win. I just think if they were to develop their own trucks completely, stop trying to worry about what the market is, bring the market to you. Toyota does that with the Tacomas. Why can't you do that with a full-size Titan? But anyways, speculations. Where do you guys stand? Will the Titan last a couple more years, or will Nissan be ballsy and say, hey, we're going with a Gen 3? You know, we've got a Frontier that's about to launch. It's going to kick ass for us, so why not come out of the gates with something like a new full-size and go from there? So whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you know the drill. It does not matter what you drive, because this has been your All Terrain Nation, and I'm your host, David Boyd. Peace, everybody. Love y'all.